the big game in the Champions League this week has to be Guardiola heading over to the Nou Camp as Man City play Barcelona. But out of these two huge teams, and we saw it when the draw started, that it was obviously going to be about those two teams. But who's going to come out on top? Which team do you think is I guess, better equipped to win the group, and then better equipped to maybe even win the whole tournament? Because this Man City team, they look all right, don't they?
They do look good, but Man City haven't had the best record in the Champions League. They're getting better and better. They got into knockouts last year, and they got Guardiola, a man who I think 7 consecutive seasons he got to the semi-final. Wow. Did lose 5 of them, but he got to the semi-final.
It's crap when he got there.
Obviously won the treble in his first season with Barcelona, and Barcelona have won their first 2 games. City drew against Celtic. That was the one that sort of popped the City are infallible bubble.
Good.
Yeah, see, did that. Well, but I would probably say Barcelona because you've got Messi, Neymar and Suarez. I really don't think you can look past that. And City with Aguero are a different beast to City without Aguero. And we all know he will get injured at some point. So
I don't agree with that the saying that they're, previously they haven't got there, had experience getting out the group stage, and last season was the first time. That's all true, but every club changes depending on the personnel that they have there, and obviously with Guardiola, his experience and his understanding of this knockout competition will be more valuable than Man City's overall experience in the competition. They won the league without winning it before, for example, but. You're right about Barcelona. Their forward line is incredible. Everyone knows that. It goes without saying. And it doesn't matter really what you do. If they're on the top of their game, there's not much you can do to stop them. I had a little chat with Kristen Hennig because I can't profess to have watched a massive amount of Barcelona, but this guy knows everything about everything to do with football, Sunday League, anything. And he talked about the issues they've got with Busquets at the moment. He's obviously the metronome in the Barcelona team. For a defensive midfielder, he doesn't actually play the ball sideways. He looks for that kind of direct ball. And if he's playing well, Barcelona are playing well. And the fact is he hasn't been. He was at fault. He's been sloppy, and
because they've not. I mean, often people. There's different fans obviously around the globe who watch different leagues, but a fan that doesn't watch La Liga would just presume that Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid and Barcelona are at the top. But Barcelona have had a tricky start to the season, haven't they?
Yeah, they've lost 2 games. One to Alvarez, is it?
Alaves and Celta Vigo.
Alaves and Celta Vigo. So 2 in their first 8. They've scored 27 goals in 8 games. So that isn't an issue. But as you said, obviously it's a head-to-head rather than goal difference system in La Liga. So it doesn't really matter how many goals you concede if you lose. But with Busquets not playing well, they've lost their metronome. They've got no backup for him. They haven't signed a backup for him. They've put all their money in ensuring that Neymar signs a new contract. He's just signed a new deal. It's probably worth between 200 and 250k a week, up from 140k. So they haven't covered all of their bases, Barcelona, and it's difficult for a club to do that given all the wages they do pay on players. I think City will get the better of them, and maybe get a draw in the Nou Camp, but I think overall City will top that group.
How good can this City team be this season? Because everyone's been talking about Guardiola and how it's going to take a little bit of time, and there's not that much pressure this year. But even in a draw against Everton, I think they had 19 shots on goal or something. They absolutely battered them. Really missed 2 penalties. How good are they in your opinion, Rob?
By the way, the biggest game in the Champions League is Ludogorets versus Arsenal. No, listen, City are top team. I think they're really, really good. But I think Barcelona will get the better of them over the 2 games. I look at our Spurs. When Spurs played them, the way they pressed them. And Barcelona are very good at pressing, playing that same sort of style of football. And I think going forwards, City are excellent. But at the back, I still think they're a little bit vulnerable at the back. I think, Suarez, that Suarez, Neymar, Messi, up against that back 4, I think they'll, even guys like Stones and that, he's been having a very good season, but he's inexperienced against that sort of quality of players.
This will be interesting.
Bravo's a little bit dodgy as well. I'm not convinced by him at all.
I really think that, Barcelona are going to give City a lot of problems.
You've got to remember what you're forgetting, Robbie, is that Barcelona ain't Tottenham. No one can live with Tottenham.
Here we go. But yeah, listen, that Tottenham game, before that, and to be fair, the Celtic game, Remember, City
Yeah.
again, they conceded 3
Well,
goals
City
in
and
that game
Barcelona
as
have
well.
the blueprint now, don't
They
they?
conceded 3 goals in that game. So 3 against Tottenham, 3 against Celtic. If all guns are blazing for Barcelona, I see Barcelona coming out on top. But City are a top team and Guardiola is a fantastic manager. But I really do think that if I had to put money on it, my money would definitely be going on Barcelona. They've hurt Arsenal so many times over the years because they just got so much quality. I mean, you hear what you're saying about Busquets, but they've just got so much quality throughout that team that at some stage they're going to get to it.
Yeah.
I'd have to agree with that, and I think that the Man City back four, that is the weakness. And what I guess both of these teams will find, and a lot of the big teams do. Like QPR fan, I don't really know what that's like a lot of the time, but for Arsenal, but all of you guys, often you're playing against teams where you've got the ball all the time, your back four aren't really defending, you've almost got a back two, haven't you, because your fullbacks are so high, you're dominating games. There's no real pressure on your defence. In this game, you've got 2 teams who are completely used to that, and
That's a
obviously
great point.
not against Spurs because you guys went toe to toe with them. But in this game, it'll be a good reflection of, I think, La Liga or the top teams in La Liga and the top teams in the Premier
That's a
League
great
as well.
point, is what you're
Because
saying.
I've lost my point. But
Right,
yeah,
you're right.
That's it. There's my point. Because back in the room. I'm back. Because Real Madrid, Man City last year, when I watched that game, I was just
embarrassing.
blown away by how far away Man City were to Real Madrid. So we can all go, because we watch Premier League, week in, week out, and think this league's incredible. But what we might see is that Barcelona are just still far and away too good.
I think the Premier League is incredible, but I think that in La Liga they've got a couple of exceptional teams that are full of loads of exceptional players because their spending power, their history, just allows them to get these. That front three of Neymar, Messi,
Iniesta
Suarez.
still an
It's
incredible
just
player as well.
absolutely that's Hollywood. You know what I mean? So it's just hard to get. If they turn it on the day, you've got major problems. And the back four of City, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced in that back four. Tottenham absolutely dominated that back four. So did Celtic. Gave them problems throughout. And I'm sorry, I have to side with Barcelona in those games.
It's not going to be the first time that Guardiola's going back to Nou Camp as a different manager. Went there with Bayern Munich, destroyed 3-0, I think it was, at Nou Camp. Won 3-2 in the second leg, but the game was already dead and buried by that point. So,
And that's a better Bayern Munich team.
yeah,
than the
that
City team.
Bayern Munich team, Guardiola in the Bundesliga was absolutely flying. I think they were undefeated in the league at that point. Might be wrong, hopefully not. But he lost that game. And I think when you're looking at England's elite in Europe has not been where it was for a while. I think between 2007 to 11, obviously United won it in 2007. We lost the final to Barca in 2011. We also got to a semi in between that time. There was a 4-year domination where I think 3 out of the 4, I think you got to a semi as well. 3 out of 4 English teams were in the Champions League semi-finals. That's dropped off significantly in the last few years. Are City going to be the team to take it back for England? I'd say they're probably the most well equipped at the moment. Hopefully United will get there, but we're not in the Champions League this year.
No,
I think
you're not.
Arsenal look good. I don't know how you're going to do because I haven't been watching any much Spurs apart from when you took City apart. So it's kind of weird. I'm saying City are the best, but you're the team that's taken them apart.
I'm surprised
this
you
year.
think they're so great, considering you destroyed them.
Yeah, he's 6 games into his managerial career. I just think he's gonna have absolutely zero issues. He will be consistently the best manager over the next 2 or 3 years. And I'm not 100% convinced with Barcelona. So look, it's my gut instinct.
Okay.
Without Busquets, Barcelona aren't great defensively.
Okay, so that's what we think about Barcelona and Man City. Let us know who you think is going to top this group, who's going to go further in the competition out of these two, and then I'll tell you what, for the Arsenal and Spurs, and it's awkward, isn't it? For the other fans, who do you think is going to win the tournament overall? We hope you enjoyed Social Club
I'll
this
give you
week. And they've got the videos. They'll be back up north next week. Don't worry. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. Make sure you comment on all of them, and make sure you subscribe to Ball Street.